Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the most magical review of 2021. Now on Xbox is Dandy Ace, and for those Game Pass subscribers, guess what? It has launched day one into Game Pass, so let's check it out. So Dandy Ace is your new isometric roguelike game that is all the rage nowadays, but with a magical twist to it. Yes, so if you have enjoyed the likes of Curse of the Dead Gods or Hades, Dandy Ace might be up your alley. Now the gist of the story is that this one magician has now gone into the shadows of you, Dandy Ace, and he needs to take revenge. So he has trapped you in this gauntlet of magical proportions. It is your job to escape, and you do that by advancing through various stages and arenas. At the start of every run, you are given a blue card, a pink card, and a yellow card. You can think of these as your evade, your quick attack, and your heavy attack. You do have a fourth slot that you can input as you pick up more cards, but that will come later. Now, one thing that this game does different and unique is that as you get more cards, which are your different move sets, you can actually apply them onto existing cards. Every card has its own unique properties, and they also have their own unique upgrade properties. So depending on where you place them as upgrades, those moves will now do other things. Now as you go throughout the game and you pick up shards from enemies, you can start to upgrade these cards randomly as you're playing throughout the different levels and worlds. You will pick up different cards and better cards. Now the rogueliteness comes in when you complete a level. You take these shards and coins that you have brought with you and you start buying these upgrades. Now these upgrades take a lot, and luckily you don't have to have all of the currency on you at that time, so you can just kind of bank into the upgrades that you want, and those will become permanent, and they vary from upgrading different abilities, maybe starting with some extra money, unlocking certain cards so your starting pool is a little bit bigger, as well as buying blueprints. And that blueprint is another thing that you can pick up in this gauntlet. And as you pick up these and successfully make your way to these safe areas, you can add those to your list where you can throw these shards into, and once you unlock them, you can choose one of these trinkets, as they call them, to go with you throughout the rest of your run. Now you can only stack up a few of those, and they do different things, and you just kind of see how your playstyle is to see which one is going to suit you better. Now as you can see here, we have this map, and we have these branching paths that we can go onto to get to the end boss. And you are pretty much locked to a certain path, the top path, but eventually you find keys that are permanent. They stick with you once you find them, and they will allow you to go through other gates. Sometimes those gates contain a treasure chest to get you a special card for that run. But sometimes they allow you to find a different exit and go through a little bit different path in this maze. Those paths eventually lead to these bosses. Obviously, once you beat the boss, you get an abundance of your currency, and what do you know, more upgrade options become available. Now each area has specific enemies and different kind of attacks that they do, so as you play the game you'll see which ones you would rather go down. Maybe you have more experience with one, or these enemies that hit you with these ranged attacks just are a little bit too tough for your playstyle, so maybe you'll go with a different route. Completely up to you in this roguelike game. But as you go through the maze, you'll finally get to the end boss, and that's where you can reign supreme. Now of note is the game only gives you the normal difficulty. There are 3 other difficulties: hard, very hard, and there is a nightmare mode, and so you'll have to play this game a good bit for these harder difficulties to come up on you. That said, the normal mode can be a little overwhelming. More than enough times did too many enemies pop up on the screen for me, and it got really busy, and that is a run killer for me. So just kind of it's weird. You have to start slowly And in some rooms, that is the strategy. But in many rooms, for me, I had to go really, really fast. And so that's where it kind of it varies. Topple that on with the RNG of the cards that you find, and the game can be a little difficult. So if RNG is on your side, you'll have a good run. Otherwise, you're just trying to get as far as you can to get a little bit further on those permanent upgrades. Now, visually speaking, I really love this game. It has bright colors in the environment. I dig the enemy styles. There are variants of the enemies, so there's not like a huge pool of different kind of enemies, but they do have some palette swaps, so that can be kind of a letdown. But the ones that they have there, I did enjoy looking at those because you're going to be going through these gauntlets many times. I did not mind the voice acting in the game too much. Obviously, playing through the game many times, you're going to hear the same stuff over and over, so that can kind of come with this territory a little bit, but I didn't mind it too much. Ultimately, it's just one of those games where you can pick up, you can play it, and no matter how far you get, you're going to make a little bit of progress, and those kind of games do serve their purpose, and I do enjoy them when I just want to throw something on and maybe do something else in the background when I'm doing something familiar. Now, when it comes to new bosses, new areas, definitely want to stay focused and adapt as best as I can. But again, progress is progress. And that will do it for me for Dandy Ace. Remember, if you're listening to this in a very timely manner, it is on Game Pass, day one launch. So if you have Game Pass, be sure to check it out if you are interested. Alright, be sure to check out xboxtavern.com, where I'll have the scores for this game and other games that I have reviewed, along with my colleagues as we review games all the time. xboxtavern.com, and I will see you in the next review. See ya.